I'm Bob Hawke, and in the video you are about to see, you'll discover what my fellow Australians and I love about what many consider to be one of the most exciting, fun-filled holiday destinations in the world. You see, not only is Australia my home, it's also a place where you'll feel at home, because Australians are, without doubt, very friendly people. So, no matter where you are or who you are, you'll find Australia is a changing, growing, sporting, thinking nation, where old mixes with new, full of colour, full of adventure, and importantly, full of fun. Indeed, you can enjoy all that Australia has to offer with Australia's famous hospitality that accommodates all tastes and styles. Remember too, that Australia the video is not only exciting and educational, it makes the ideal gift for family and friends as well. Therefore, on behalf of all Australians, I extend my personal invitation to you to watch Australia the video, and we look forward to your visit to this great land of ours.
Australia is the world's biggest island and its smallest continent. The land down under sits between the Pacific and Indian Oceans, with Papua New Guinea, Indonesia and New Zealand its closest neighbours. This is a country of diversity. The vivid colours of the outback, the Great Barrier Reef, ancient rainforests, gentle landscapes and snow-covered mountains are all accessible to visitors. Australia is around the same size as mainland America, but has a population of under 20 million, 3/4 of which live within an hour's drive from the coast. Australia has been home to the Aboriginal people for 50,000 years. White settlement began 2 centuries ago, with the majority of immigrants coming from Europe and Asia. English is the official language. There are 6 Australian states and 2 territories. Canberra is the capital. The north of Australia sits above the Tropic of Capricorn with high temperatures and a wet season in the summer months of December, January and February. South of the tropics, the climate is temperate with slightly cooler weather and less rain. Most of the tourists arrive here by plane, but cruise ships also visit Australia's major ports. Within the country, domestic airlines, coach companies, railways and a network of national highways link each state. A massive variety of places and pastimes is the big feature of Australia's first state. Like a range of countries rolled into one, the borders of New South Wales enclose beaches and mountains, rainforest and desert, the city and outback, ancient and modern, where you can drift at a relaxing pace or experience a breathtaking adventure. Sydney is the capital of New South Wales. It's the largest city in Australia. Over 3.5 million people live here, and a further 6 million visit Sydney every year. What makes all this urban excitement unique is that the city centre is only a 15-minute drive from some of Sydney's most popular beaches. It's possible to swim with a shark in Sydney and come home with limbs intact. These special dives can be booked at one of the harbourside aquariums in Manly or Darling Harbour. Or to meet a more friendly local, check out one of the native animal parks dotted around the suburbs. But the ultimate ruse with a view live at Taronga Park Zoo. Outstanding exhibits from all over the world are on show at Sydney's art galleries and museums. Or you can see the harbour in style on one of the many pleasure cruises, including a fully rigged replica of the Bounty. The city is overflowing with shops, markets and restaurants. One spectacular spot is Darling Harbour with its award-winning architecture. Sydney's most famous landmark is also in the area. The white sails of the Sydney Opera House can be seen from almost anywhere on the harbour. This distinctive building was the award-winning design of Danish architect Jorn Utzon. A 15-minute flight or a 1-hour drive will take you to the serene waters of the Hawkesbury River. This entire area is draped with untouched native forest. Most of it is protected by the Ku-ring-gai National Park, and it's still within 22 kilometres of Sydney. To the west, the scenery is startlingly different. Sandstone escarpments, tall waterfalls and rich rainforests make up the Blue Mountains National Park. This unconventional aviator is based in the Hunter Valley, the main wine-growing region of New South Wales, which is about 2.5 hours drive northwest of Sydney. Tours of the wineries are welcomed, and there's some pretty unusual ways to get around. The coastline north of Sydney is a beautiful mixture of lakes, beaches and rainforest, with bustling holiday towns and leafy hideaways. Unspoiled forest and clean fresh water are also features of the Mile Lakes, just up the coast from Port Stephens. Holiday makers come here for the wilderness and the water sports. Further north, you come across more lakes and laid-back towns with friendly local people.
It's great. We have Crescent Head time where no one seems to get the rush, so there's nothing demanding whatsoever about it. You just do everything in your own time.
But the climax of a trip north is this bay. Its waters are often visited by whales and dolphins, while the surrounding hills play host to movie stars and millionaires. Byron Bay is 830 kilometres north of Sydney and less than an hour's drive south of the border between New South Wales and Queensland. The coast south of Sydney has just as much to offer. The white sands of Jervis Bay are famous. One of the beaches has been listed in the Guinness Book of Records as having the whitest sand in the world. This is Hyams Beach. Clear water and a wealth of fish life make the bay a popular centre for scuba diving. Wildlife and wilderness are a big feature of southern New South Wales. Some caravan parks are so well landscaped, the wild animals treat them like home. Time has almost stood still in some of the nearby villages. These beautifully preserved 19th century shops and cottages are in the small town of Tilba. New South Wales is known as the Premier State. It was the first state to be colonised, and many of the old towns remain as a testament to its early history. The ore body of Broken Hill was discovered in 1883, and it's still yielding silver, lead and zinc. Broken Hill has a decent-sized airport, and most people prefer to fly here rather than tackle the 1,170-kilometre drive from Sydney. If you have time, it's worth considering driving around New South Wales. You get a real taste of the vast distances and wonderful character of the Australian outback. Like the 1,500-year-old giant grass trees in a forest surrounded by farming country. The jagged volcanic rocks of the Warrumbungle Mountains. The bizarre moonscape of Lake Mungo. Strange buildings in isolated towns. And more conventional sports that offer a panoramic view of this immense country. Australia is well known for its heat, so many visitors are surprised to learn that one of the big attractions in New South Wales is the snow. The snowy mountains are in the south of the state on the border with Victoria. You can expect snow here in the winter months from June to October, when it's the perfect time to check out some of the ski resorts. Less than 2 hours' drive north of the snow is the nation's capital. The city of Canberra is within the borders of New South Wales, but has its own state within a state, the ACT.